My name is New York State Senator Eric Adams, and I really want to commend my colleague in the Assembly, Assemblyman Jeffries. These are the types of legislation that he and I stated at the beginning of our career we want to look at and make sure that I have a partner over in the Assembly that shared the same level of passion of coming up with corrective measures to ensure oversight in all of our agencies. So I want to thank him for introducing the bill in the Assembly, and I too will introduce the bill in the Senate. I think that there's some basic facts that we must understand about this issue. Stop and frisk practice is a good practice when it's used properly and legally. We're not stating that the use of stop and frisk is a bad practice when it's used properly and legally. There are two ways you can do a stop and frisk. One, if a civilian indicates that some crime has taken place or the officer is observing someone in a criminal action, that is a good stop and frisk. The second is when an officer is told to get a predetermined number of stop and frisk at the beginning of his tour, or when no one is complaining of crime, he merely stops an individual and search him, or in some way try to indicate who the person is as identification. That is a bad stop and frisk. When you look at the data, the overwhelming number of stop and frisk has nothing to do with the individual civilian stating that is a bad guy that either committed a crime, we thought committed a crime. That's the problem we're looking at. This is racism one-on-one. You simply have to do the math. 80% of those stops are black and Hispanics. 9 out of 10 didn't commit any criminal action at all. The database, the creation of database, the databases should be created to stop bad people, not black people. That's what's wrong here. And for the New York City Police Department to give the indication that the mathematical simple arithmetic equation of black equals bad equals database, that is illegal, that is unacceptable, and this city is better than that. We are not the northern Arizona. We are not going to permit innocent people to be stopped on the street merely because of their ethnicity, to be searched and to be questioned. One young man in the Bronx was so tired of being stopped often that he went out with a hidden camera and moved around the Bronx to show how young people, as they leave the school building, are routinely stopped, put on the wall and searched, and then let go on a routinely fashion. This is traumatizing and criminalizing our young people. This is unacceptable. A correction officer, his son would wear home his Kentucky Fried Chicken uniform every day, hoping that when the officers see him, they would believe he has a job and wouldn't stop and frisk him daily. But it wasn't successful. As he walked into his gate, he was stopped, he was searched, and as he told him that his dad was a New York City correction officer, it didn't matter, he was searched anyway. So it doesn't matter the profession of your parents. It doesn't matter the academic standards of the young people. It doesn't matter what their LSAT scores or their SAT scores or what colleges they are enrolled in. None of that matter. We have a police department that's zeroing in on the ethnicity of young people. 80%. One last stat that's important. Previous AG did a study. 1 out of every 4 stops, forms were actually prepared. Do the mathematical equation. 575,000 stops in 2009. If there's only 1 out of 4, then we're not dealing with 575,000. We're not dealing with 1 million. We're dealing with over 2 million young people being stopped and searched. How could we live in a city while young people are afraid to walk the streets? This is not acceptable. And for the police department to arrogantly turn their backs on a request from Peter Vallone. You don't have a city council person who has been more tolerant of police practices than Peter Vallone. And Peter Vallone has asked them to purge this database and stop using this database to hold information. But the fact is that the police department refused to do this. Police officers hate it. Police officers have been asking for us to intervene and to stop this practice. The PBA hate it. The PBA is asking us to pass laws to stop this quota system of putting their officers in harm's way. Every segment of society is saying this is wrong. The only segment of the society that don't understand this is wrong is our police commissioner. The only segment. We must stop this action. No police force should ever have a database of this magnitude. Database should consist of bad people, not black people, not brown people, not good people. That's wrong for our city to do that. Thank you.